Smaller companies, new companies are always strapped for cash. You've always got to watch the cash flow. It's absolutely key.
But you can't necessarily offer what your competitors are offering straight away. So it's a question of planning and looking at the strategy. What else can you offer? If you can't offer them 30 days, what else would make your customer want to buy from you? Is there something else you can add to the product? Is there something else that you can do as a service with that product? Is there something about your product that you can sell to the marketplace as a brand that makes it seem more attractive than the other products that are there?
With internal resources, I think the main difficulty perhaps has been finding enough time to look at international trade and keep the UK plate spinning at the same time. I think that's probably been one of the most difficult parts of the job.
Often with small, medium-sized companies, they start out with the resource element being fulfilled with somebody already in the company, which is a great starting point and makes sense. But the question is what other jobs is that person now not going to be able to do in the UK? And making that very much part of the plan. So who is going to do the UK marketing now that you've got to also focus on overseas, etc.?
Well, I think we're really lucky with our business because we have a financial model which encourages people to pay up front. So that makes it much more sustainable than maybe, other businesses where you're selling goods and that sort of thing. So we're selling services which people pay for up front.
I think that the one thing that you do need to look at is how you're going to get paid on the financial side. So make sure that you investigate the market and whether you want payment before order, before dispatch, whether you want letters of credit, whether you do need to establish that early on in the relationship with any distributor.
We've done an awful lot of work and spent a great deal of money on streamlining the way that we work and getting the IT to be streamlined so that things flow much more automatically and things are much more easy to access. And it's very easy to see what's in stock. You can look at orders, everything is available on the system that we've got. So that's been extremely useful. And in fact, some of the business that we've done with projects, we couldn't have done without the IT that we had.
We have established distributors with fairly large stocks through to new ones that are really looking to establish what lines they take. But yes, it does spread the stocking load through the chain, and it helps us get material out there. And one of the key elements for us is actually having stock on the ground in the areas where it's being installed.
In our business, there are very, very few companies that keep stock because it's very expensive. It's about 30 times more expensive than carbon steel, for example. So you get very little for the money, which means that if you're going to buy stock and you're going to keep stock, it has to be very, very focused on what your customer needs.
If it's something that's needed urgently and we've not got it on the shelf, then at least they can talk to each other and establish whether it's in the supply chain.
Partners do several things. First of all, they are plugged into the local community. They know how it works. They almost can bring you into their relationships. That's their biggest benefit in my view. Secondly, we would hope over time that they would take on more and more of that front-end role as they become aware of what this can do and why it's of benefit in their market.
The other side of it that we have found extremely useful is to use external resources to help the business. And our experience has been that UKTI has been extremely helpful. The local people help you with basic information.
I worked with companies who would have international students coming to do a project as part of their studies at a quite high level. So for 6-12 weeks, a foreign student may come and be able to do a particular project for you in their particular market, for example. All local universities always have partnerships where people with language skills may be able to come and do internship as well.
The major element of our business change was realigning the business solely to sales and distribution, what that's enabled us to do is release all of the resources, managerial and administration, that we had tied up in running a production area that is very time consuming and involves a lot of issues that aren't profit generating, to actually enable all of the staff to focus on the end goal of selling our product, which is what businesses really are about, is selling a product at a profit.
I think sometimes it's really hard for companies to think about what it is that they're good at. I think, yes, I do think that we know what we're good at, and the communication with people is one of the things that we are good at. I think it's really easy to be diverted from the things that you're good at, and to find the time to sort of sit down and do that, maybe strengths, weaknesses, analysis, and focus on the business strengths and how you can improve those.